So hello, I thought I would film a little video today. It's not going to be little, it's going to be about the average length, about probably 12 minutes. I wonder how close my guess is. I might just make it 12 minutes just so I'm right. But yeah, I just thought I'd do a video about challenging fear foods because I was eating a pastry earlier. I'll show you the clip because I filmed it because I anticipated this. And like leading up to it, I was just like, I'm having it because I fancy it, and it was just like a month ago probably I would have been scared of it, and I think in a month what progress that is to just choose it, just not for even a recovery reason, just choose it because I want it. And I thought, how much progress is that over just a month? And so I thought I would do a little video because that's like a perfect example of challenging a fear food and how I've gone through the process of doing it, and how the more I've challenged it, the more my anxiety has gone down. So the first thing I do, and I'm cracking straight into it. So first thing I do when I'm challenging fear foods, well, the first thing I do when I'm challenging fear foods is I write a list. But actually, I write on my notes because I'll lose the list, I know, but so I write on my phone on my notes, and I just write like a list of foods that I fear. Now, here it's very easy to choose safe options. So a way to do it is do it in green, amber, red. If there's some things that you think, oh my god, that's too scary, I don't want to challenge that, put it on the reds. I'll explain the colour coding system in a sec. Put it on the reds, and you don't have to show anyone, or you don't have to challenge that yet. Just put it there, so maybe in a month's time you can come back to it, and you might have come so far in recovery, you're like, actually, I can do that. Just put it there, even if you don't think you can do it now at all. So green would be, okay, this is doable, like it raises a bit of anxiety as obviously a fear food or something I haven't had before, so that's fine. Amber is the ones you're like, oh, that will be a challenge, but I think might be able to do it with a push, but it still scares me. And red's like, no way, no. So your list might be loads of reds, but maybe you've got a couple that you can think of that you might, in amber, that you might be able to do. So maybe when you're feeling like you want to challenge yourself, which is, for me, used to be quite rare, but maybe you could give it to someone, and when they think you're ready to do a challenge, they choose one from your maybe amber or red. Maybe just on a daily basis you pick one from one section, and maybe one day you just had a lot of challenges and you're just feeling exhausted, that maybe you might go for a green, or you might have already done a red in that day, or you might have done an amber in that day and you go for a green. So yeah, that's the first step, is making a list. My Tia's top tip for that one, cringe, Tia's top tip for that one is, don't be scared of putting anything down. If there is something that there's some things that you really don't think you can do, put it on a separate list for yourself. You don't have to show anyone, but just have it there, just in case, and then maybe, as I said, you can go back to it. Just don't leave anything out. Otherwise you're never going to be able to fully recover if you've just left something out, because if there's things you can't do, then you're not fully recovered, are you? That sounded a bit like mean. It wasn't meant like that. The next thing that I do when I'm challenging a fear food is when I choose one, or my mum chooses one, or someone, your psychologist, your dietitian, whatever, chooses one, then I got this from Finlay, what Mia did next, and okay, what is this? What's going on? It's strange. Okay, I might have to let this pass. That's fine. Okay, weird. Okay, so I got this from Finlay, what Mia did next, and what she does, it was on one of her podcasts, and I got this from her, and it's really, really helped me, is you choose the fear food, you do what you're going to have, when you're going to have it, who with, and what you're doing. So what you're going to have, I'll give you an example. I think it was a chocolate muffin. This was a couple of months ago. I did a chocolate muffin. I was doing it with my mum, and my dad actually it was. In front of the TV, because I find it easier to be distracted. Some people find it easier to just have music in the background, or, yeah. And when it was like on a Saturday after work, before dinner, and like a rough time, like from 3:30 to 5, sometime in there I'll do it. And that has been so helpful, because once you've got a plan, it's much easier to sort of get your mind ready for it. You can go over it in your head, you know you're going to do it. It's much easier when you're first challenging fear food, rather than it just to be like a shock, like, bam, I'm going to do it now. It's much easier to mentally prepare yourself. And I believe she was also saying, like, you can sort of visualise yourself doing it before. Some people find this really helpful. You can visualise yourself doing it before, and then when your brain comes to actually do it, you've already done it in your head loads of times, so it's much easier. So I thought that was quite interesting, quite a good way of sort of helping yourself. Sorry, that was my squeaky shoes, I promise. Okay, so that's the next bit, is when, where, what, blah blah blah. Another bit is the frequency of how often you're challenging fear foods. This is something that you can probably talk about to your dietitian, because it really does cater to you. Like, at the moment I'm challenging every day, and I'm in like a good space to do that, but before it was challenging maybe once a week, so that was like big enough. But challenging every day at the moment for me works, whether it doesn't have to be like a huge challenge every day, if it's just a little challenge, it depends. But I try and challenge every day, so work out sort of the frequency, and maybe over time you increase that frequency as you get more comfortable in it. Because that really is the only way to decrease your anxiety, is just the more challenges. And so yeah, frequency of challenges is quite important to me, because I've seen an increase in it, and you've really got to push yourself there, I think, but not push yourself to the point where it's impossible. The car's come. Oh no, it's a different car. Don't worry. Anyway, the next thing about challenging fear foods is you can't just challenge it once. You've got to challenge, repeat, because the first time you do it, you're going to be anxious. The second time you do it, you'll probably be just a little bit less anxious, and a little bit less anxious, and a little bit less anxious every time you have it. I put on my Instagram, it was like a graph, so it was like an axis. I hope this is the right way around for you. And it was like anxiety and number of times you've challenged, and slowly the anxiety goes down the more you challenge the fear food. So it's just a matter of doing it until you're completely not anxious about it. So I'm sure there's some things, actually I'm not sure, you might be really early in your recovery, but might be some things that you've done that to that are you're no longer anxious about now. So just think about that. If there's anything, like, for me it might have been like white bread, like I have that at least more, like once or twice a day, so it's just one of those things that I didn't even notice that my anxiety has gone down, but I have none now. So just think about that, because you'll sort of be able to prove it to yourself, I'm sure. So yeah, you just got to keep challenging. Like, even with the pastry that I had a month ago, that was like a big challenge for me, and now it's nothing, but I've had it so many times. And don't think like once you've had it the second time you're done, or you have it and the other end of the spectrum you're really anxious. Don't be surprised by that, because the more you do it, it will get easier, but it won't probably be a sudden, it's fine, once you've had it, fine, don't have to do it again, it's fine. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. As Meg's Recovery says, challenge, repeat, and eventually it will lower your anxiety. And that's exactly what we want. So, whilst I'm afraid to get out of the car because I have no idea what's going on around me, have a lovely couple of days until I next see you. Feel free to click on any of my other videos. There's lots of useful things. So, if there's anything you want to see or hear from me, then drop it down, because I really would love to hear what you guys want to hear from me, because I'm happy to talk about most recovery related things, and I'll probably have an opinion on it. So goodbye, wish me luck. I think.